9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
It is Wednesday. But you already know what that means. It's another edition of WWT Live on a Wednesday. Hard to believe we're almost at the end of April and we're getting ready to be in May. Lots of stuff happening in the wrestling world because, of course, still recovering from the WrestleMania hangover. We do have AEW Dynamite. Lots of stuff happening. But thankfully, I am not alone. And it's always nice when it's a ladies' edition of WWT. She was with me on Monday. You've seen her on the watch-alongs with the documentary with Hulk Hogan and WOW and LFG with TK. I'm always happy to have Christina with me.
Hey, I'm so excited to be able to make it. It's always lovely, like you said, to hop on a ladies' edition. So excited to see you and our next host.
Yes, it's always exciting to see her. Please make sure to check out our article that she did on the wonderful Babs Wingo because she would not be here and she paved the way for many women of color in the wrestling business. And I'm so happy to have Miss Hope in the building.
Hey, y'all.
Yes.
Happy Dynamite Wednesday. Thank you for that plug. Appreciate you.
Honestly, when you posted that, I was so excited. And people need to hear about Babs Wingo because she paved the way for many women of color, especially the ones that are popular today.
It's true. It's true. And people don't realize, even those who are in the business who look like us, I don't think they really understand what she went through, what the sisters went through, everything through that segregated era. The worst possible scenarios, you can almost, it happened to some degree. It's just read the article, Pro Wrestling Post. Let me know your thoughts and support all women, ladies of color in particular, but all women, absolutely. Because we rock.
Yes, we do. Shout out to our producer. Shout out to our producer for the future, Dylan, in the chat. Also, and I did not have a slide for this because we just found out earlier. Courtesy of Mr. Bill Apter. He is mine and Honey's friend because we see him in all the events in jerseys. He reported that unfortunately Bruno Sammartino's wife passed away. He did an interview with his son. Make sure to check out his YouTube channel and everything else on socials. He is killing it. He's a wonderful historian, but his son actually reported his wife passed away. So we do want to send condolences to the entire Sammartino family. Yes,
absolutely. Prayers to them.
Yes, so definitely prayers to them and Bruno, but we wanted to put that plug in before we started. Now, big news happening in ESPN and CW land. Courtesy of ESPN's PR team, they released a press release that the CW network and ESPN team up to stream more than 800 hours of live events from CW Sports on the ESPN app. As I mentioned, they just released a press release out today, and they're teaming up to make the ESPN app the exclusive streaming home for all CW Sports live events, combining premium sports offerings into a single viewer-friendly experience through this groundbreaking agreement. All CW Sports will be broadcast live on the CW network, as well as stream live on the ESPN app for fans with an ESPN Unlimited subscription plan, including live coverage of college football and men and women's basketball from the ACC, Pac-12, and Mountain West conferences, NASCAR, NXT, PBA bowling, and the 2026 Arizona Bowl. And as I mentioned, fans with the ESPN Unlimited plan subscription will have the opportunity to watch all the CW Sports offerings live on any device with the ESPN app as a complement to the CW's free over-the-air broadcast model nationwide, while advertisers will extend reach to new audiences across all digital platforms. And the CW Sports on the ESPN app is expected to launch in summer of this year. Ladies, I just want to get your quick thoughts on this because this is groundbreaking news. We know NXT is on the CW, and this kind of leads into the partnership between WWE and ESPN. And Hope, I'll start with you on your thoughts on this.
Excited, absolutely excited, and particularly for NXT. I mean, CW obviously has its own niche, but when you're talking about the combo of ESPN and the reach that they have, this is phenomenal for NXT, for WWE, for wrestling fans in general. So kudos to everyone involved in securing that deal.
Christina, you want to have any thoughts on that?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, very interesting. I think they're really pushing for the ESPN app, and I think that's a good thing. Um, how I see it is more eyes that maybe wouldn't be watching NXT could stumble upon it, get more viewers, is how I see it. Um, I happen to be one of the people that just tends to have random apps. So like I have the Hulu and it so happened to include ESPN. So that's kind of cool. You have a little bundle, which for someone in that situation, they could stumble upon it. So I think it's good. Just for NXT, however, it does add to the different apps that we kind of have to juggle to kind of see our different WWE shows, is the only little downside. But what can we do?
Interesting. Interesting enough. And yes, Dylan, since we're plugging in, I mean, hey, you can watch it on the NordVPN. If you don't want to watch any streams or anything, you want to keep your budget in there. Women's Wrestling Talk has a NordVPN, by the way, so you can plug that in there. It's interesting because I still have my cable, so I do have the CW and I watch it on NXT. It's going to be very interesting because the partnership with WWE and ESPN, and that also adds another layer because you have that, and if you're paying like the Disney Plus and the Hulu bundle, which that's a whole nother thing because that's another bank to your buck, then you have to deal with HBO Max because AEW's on there along with their pay-per-views. So, and then if you want to watch TNA, they have the TNA app where that's a separate thing that you want to watch on their shows, their pay-per-views, everything else. But it's going to be interesting. I'm very curious how they're going to do it because especially if you have cable like me, you can watch it for free with no charge. But if you don't, that's also another thing too. And that's why we have the NordVPN. It's going to be interesting how this is going to work out, especially with NXT, because I know NXT has a few PLEs that are coming out soon. It's going to be very interesting on how the first one they do in this app era, like what's the response going to be. Hopefully there's no crashes or buffers or anything else. And also it does give people eyes because obviously, of course, NXT has a very hardcore fan base, small one, but also people who are WWE fans don't watch it on a week-to-week basis, but we shall see what happens on there. But opportunity strikes. That's all I have to say. Opportunity strikes. And yes, Boza, HBO Max does have some great shows on there. If you do have HBO Max, they have some great shows. They got some great movies. So make sure to watch it. Like, don't watch it just because of AEW, but they got some good shows. We're just going to jump right into it because I feel like Nick Khan, we talked about him for the last couple of weeks. So Monday, because hope you weren't here, we did find out Triple H signed an agreement to be the chief, oh God, I forgot.
Content officer?
Yeah, chief content officer. I forgot his position. But pretty much there was a TKO town hall that actually happened on Monday this past week. Obviously, of course, about many different topics with the situation happening in the Middle East, talking about Night of Champions, obviously WrestleMania. But one section in particular that actually kind of boggled my mind, outside of the staff and location announcement for WrestleMania 2028, this has been popping up a lot. TKO president and COO Mark Shapiro called the company's embrace of AI a major priority, emphasizing how AI could help employees be more efficient and productive. He noted how the UFC uses AI for fighter rankings and explains WWE use of AI. Nick Khan and Triple H are using AI for storylines with the WWE. What's resenting? What superstars are resenting? In what pockets of the country are they resenting? That helps us with obviously our content, our editorial, our creative, our mapping, our touring, and of course, maximizing revenue and getting our product out to most of the fans that need it. So, pretty much, it did create a lot of buzz since we have seen that happening lately, not just with AI, but also a possibility removing a lot of reaction videos from content creators and influencers. That's also something happening too. But ladies, I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on this. And Christina, how do you feel with everything that Nick Khan just said with the use of AI on storylines and removing reaction videos from content creators and influencers?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So I've been following the reaction videos being taken down and things like that. I'm not excited about that just because I feel like that's part of fan engagement. Good or the bad, it's part of fan engagement, especially for something so big like WWE. As far as the AI, I have very mixed thoughts on it. I would say I can perhaps see the use of AI for something like analytics, but then I feel like when we delve into the generative AI and being used for promos or for storylines, I feel like it worries me that we might get away from the creativity of it all, the people connection, and then it could lead to the layoffs of the creative department, the marketing department, the departments that we ourselves would be in. And it's just that's the unfortunate part when we get into the generative AI part. Ugh.
Hope you want to add any thoughts into this, because this is something that this is just something that's been on the wall.
And I said this in one of my first appearances on WWT, that there's just they've inadvertently put themselves in a position where they're in need of content and don't have enough creative people. Between Raw, SmackDown, everything on Netflix, everything on A&E, CW, and everything else in between, you've got to have fresh content, and it's weekly. There's no off season. People get burned out. And even now, as much as we all love WWE, there is a severe lack of creativity. One of the things that drew me into professional wrestling was the storylines. They could have been the lousiest wrestlers ever, but if they could talk on the mic, or if there was a storyline that was of interest, you tuned in. Now it's just, you have things going on that just, it doesn't make sense in some cases, be it, matchups, be it personalities with titles, be it what have you. It's changed a lot. And on one hand, I can see the use of AI, but at the end of the day, you really need to look around the room and say, and I don't want to see anyone out of a job. I really do not. But there are some folks who've been there who maybe should either retire or maybe move to another division or what have you. Because there are enough people who love pro wrestling, including the three here talking, who could add insight, who could add a freshness, who could add relatable storylines versus some of the things that we are seeing now. As far as the content, limiting content, things of that nature, we know what that's about, because they know is not what it used to be. It's not up to par, and they don't like bad publicity. They just don't. I mean, if for them to come out of the gate of ESPN, and I believe that, I don't recall the pay-per-view, but for whatever pay-per-view it was, to have gotten a C or a C minus.
WrestlePalooza.
Thank you. Not okay. And they know it's not okay. But with all that being said, you remain hopeful. I mean, let's keep it real. WWE's not going anywhere. It's the juggernaut. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, especially as we see more and more PLEs heading to Saudi, the writing is somewhat on the wall of what's expected to happen next year. And it'll be interesting to see how things shake out, between now and then, including with Triple H, being re-signed, and congrats to him. But at the end of the day, how many people are re-signed? And I mean, the same way they're signed again is the same way they can be pulled, unfortunately. I mean, it's what it is. He's the head of creative. He's the head of content. He's got a lot on his shoulders. I do not envy him at all. Chip, if you need another assistant, I'm just saying. But no, you got to put it out there because he has a lot on his plate. The entire writers' room is one of the reasons why they have such a high turnover rate. And for the fans, for the business, I hope that whatever means that they use, that things improve, that things get better, and that we don't lose some of the talent that we lost just last week, not because the folks couldn't wrestle, but unfortunately, lack of creativity. I mean, how do you have the Wyatt Six and they came out so strong and you don't know what to do with them? Literally, I mean, there were some folks who were cut. I'm going to leave it alone. I mean, again, they will land on their feet. I have no doubt, be it AEW, be it the independent scene, be it TNA, or be it something else altogether. So I'm zipping it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm going to deep dive more into this when I get on Dynamite a little bit later, because for me, and I'm gonna go out of wrestling for a little bit, because in my industry we have talked about AI. Like, we talked about it since it first started. I mean, we do have mixed feelings of it because it is a tool to use, but we don't want to use it constantly for our jobs, because we do want to keep that creativity. We definitely want to keep that firepower going and really just be imaginative as we can be. Now, when reports come out with AI, that's also something too. I mean, I'm not going to say laziness, because now everybody's using AI, but at the same time, there needs to be a lot of creative. But we know it's 365 days. Like, wrestling goes on the clock. I would not be surprised, not for just WWE, I wouldn't be surprised if all wrestling promotions use AI, but it's just kind of being responsible about it. And especially too, when you're publicly admitted using AI. I mean, that's kind of not good press right there. Because not every bad press is good press. And I can say this from my personal experience. I've seen some publicists who've done messy things and just put a lot more fuel to the fire. And I think this is something to do. And also with Nick Khan too, because I know he's a businessman, he's a president, but at the same time, I wouldn't say they read the audience. They read the audience. It's just, it's just a lack of reality. It's just they read the room. It's just sometimes they don't want to hear the constructive feedback, because it's like, you need to learn how to grow, and for everybody else. But
it's one of the reasons Road Dogg is no longer there. He was one of the fighters for many of those who were cut.
So sad.
Yes. So it's one of those things. And I'm sure this is going to be an ongoing discussion that we're going to do, especially in the coming weeks, not just with WWE, but all wrestling promotions everywhere. Definitely. But shifting gears to another person that actually was released last year, but she's doing very well in the independent scene, Miss Charlie, formerly known as Dakota Kai. She was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast yesterday, and they talked about a lot of various different topics on when she's gonna, if she does come back to WWE and everything else. But there was one section in particular where she discusses Stephanie McMahon giving her a shout out for helping her train for her match at WrestleMania 34. She kind of goes on to say, yeah, that's so weird. I mean, she's the sweetest person in the world and always said hello to me. But the fact that she remembers that is insane to me, because I don't know. Again, I don't look at myself in that light. You know what I mean? But she's honestly one of the most sweetest people ever. And I was just grateful to be able to be in the ring with her, training with her and Rhonda and Kurt and Hunter as well. She got to DDT me. I was like, yes, beat me up, Stephanie. This is so freaking cool. But she's the nicest person. I think that was our first time ever meeting. Every time after that, backstage or wherever, she would always made a point to come up to me and be like, Dakota. I'm like, oh my God, you know me. I think I just got told about the opportunity. I think Coach Sarah just pulled me aside one day and was like, hey, you're going to be flown up to Connecticut to train with Rhonda. It was very hush-hush, obviously because it was her first match. So yeah, just kind of got told that I was getting flown up there to train with them. So that was cool.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I think it still trips me up, even though I think it reminded me when people were speaking so highly of her at the Hall of Fame ceremony, and it just the complete difference that she was as a personality, the menace that she was as her character in WWE versus all of the, kind things that we always hear people say about her. And Dakota Kai, she's still one of my favorites. She's one that I was really sad to see go, but thankfully I did recently see her at House of Glory during WrestleMania week. And her quotes that she brought up here, I'm just like rereading them. It's always nice to see like the she's so excited and like the novelty of everything is still there, and she's so excited that she was shouted out. So good for her, and I hope we can see more of her. She's one of my faves.
I loved Stephanie's speech. I know she's caught some flack on the length of it, but I'm like, okay, y'all clearly didn't hear Tripp's speech last year if you tripping over Stephanie's speech. But
I'm for real though.
Clearly, but I was like, my goodness, Hunter. But with Stephanie, I mean, and with most of the bad guys are nicer than the good guys. And they have to be, because think about it, if they were really like their characters, more people would get hurt for real, you know? And a lot of the work that Stephanie has done, that Triple H has done, Connor's Cure, all of that's easy enough to look up. I mean, kudos to them for everything they've done for children's cancer and other things. Hunter's on a health initiative now with the current administration, and going back to Dakota, it's like, again, another victim of lack of creativity. She could wrestle, she had the look, she had the talent, she had everything, but they didn't know what to do with her. And unfortunately, I wasn't surprised, not wishing it, but I was not surprised when she was cut last year. Very similar to what's going on now.
I actually love this stuff because it's always the little things that people remember. And I was so happy Stephanie remembered Dakota Kai, or known as Charlie right now, to do those things. And it makes me happy to see that she's doing a lot more better. And yes, make sure to check out her and Selena's podcast, because Jeffrey put it in the chat. It comes out every Friday. I know they surpassed 100 episodes because we talked about them a couple months ago. But she definitely is doing her thing. I mean, wherever she goes, it's going to be great. I'm happy she did have a sit-down interview with Chris Van Vliet, because he's doing amazing things. But at that point, it's just those things that make me love professional wrestling. And listen, I mean, nothing against Stephanie. I mean, Stephanie, she had her 15 minutes, and they said the same thing last year about Triple H when he did his speech, and they probably said the same thing about Mr. T when he did his speech, because God knows it went how long.
What can you do?
So it's just one of those things. But I'm happy to see Dakota Kai doing amazing things, and she'll be back in the ring soon. But also, speaking of things that will be happening, top of the hour, we have AEW Dynamite. We are on the road to Double or Nothing in Queens, New York. And you know this match, the Jet, the reigning TNT champion, Kevin Knight, will be taking on MJF, courtesy of Battleground Podcast. This match will kick off tonight's broadcast show. So get ready for action-packed, and these two guys are going to take it to the limit. We're also going to have the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships on the line. Divine Dominion, Megan Bayne, and Lena Cross taking on the unlikely duo of Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander. All four of these ladies are going to have a lot of mayhem, and this is going to be a banger of a match. We're also going to have Roosh. He's going to be in action tonight. He's been making a lot of waves on Collision and Dynamite the last couple of weeks, but I'm happy he is getting a lot more TV time as needed. So happy to see Mr. Roosh in action, and pretty sure we'll see the rest of La Facción and Combinable. And also, we're getting to see my ladies, the Brawling Birds. Jamie Hayter is cleared for action. Her and Alex Windsor will be teaming up in action. Very happy to see the both of them back together. And as I mentioned, Jamie Hayter is going to beat the absolute crap out of Tekla sooner than you think. And right before their AEW World Tag Team Championship match against FTR, I'm going to call them Edge and Christian. Edge and Christian are going to take on the Don Callis family's RPG Vice. Apparently, they are working alongside FTR, and this is going to be an interesting tag match, especially leading up before their I Quit Street Fight match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. And we're also going to have the AEW International Championship on the line. Kazuchika Okada, right before he has to face off against Inosuke Takeshita in a couple weeks, he'll be facing off against Ace Austin. That's been making a lot of rounds in the last couple months. And of course, I'm not going to lie, this graphic is really fire. The reigning AEW World Champion Darby Allin will be taking on a familiar foe, Brody King. These guys will have another chapter in their story, one-on-one. All this and more is happening on Dynamite tonight. Of course, yours truly will be on the call for a timeless Elite Wednesday. Also, you can watch it on TBS and simulcast on HBO Max tonight. And also, ladies, I just wanted to get your thoughts on this. If there are a match or a segment in particular that you guys are excited for AEW Dynamite.
Gracious. I was going to say Kevin Knight and MJF, but just looking at the graphic, like you said, and just knowing who's involved, Darby and Brody King, that's going to be freaking fire. I mean, this is a solid card from top to bottom.
Yes.
Absolutely. The Darby Allin versus Brody King. Really excited about that one. And of course, the Edge and Christian match is going to be my top ones. I'm not going to lie. It's so hard for me to change into Cope and Cage.
I won't. I simply refuse to.
It's like my tongue won't do it. Cope and it's just so foreign to me. But I'm really excited about that one. And of course, the Brody King. I saw him against Zilla Fatu. Actually, House of Glory. So I'm always so excited to see wrestlers just kind of pop in and out different promotions. That's always exciting for me.
It is. I'm excited to see my ladies, the Brawling Birds, back in action. The gals, as a person that advocates for the Brawling Birds, I'm happy to see them back. Obviously, Jamie Hayter is cleared. She's ready to go. Obviously, of course, if you did not see the early parts of Dynamite between Darby Allin and Brody King, this is going to be fun as they run it back. And also, and since he's been champion and I have seen it on socials, I need Darby Allin to come in with a skateboard. Just come in entering with a skateboard with the AEW title, because people don't know he did skateboarding before he did wrestling. That would have been so cool. Just have him skateboard. Have a skateboard, enter in the building. Just roll on in, because I have seen it happening. Also, I've seen a nice animated series on AEW where they talk about Darby Allin, so maybe they should do that during his run, which would be awesome. Obviously, of course, the ladies in action, Megan Bayne, Lena Cross, Chris Statlander, Hikaru Shida. That's going to be a banger of a match. Also, of course, Kevin Knight, MJF. Kevin Knight's going to definitely a star in the making. It's definitely going to be a star. I'm just happy to see Roosh back on TV again. I'm happy he's getting a lot more airtime on TV. It makes me really happy. Hopefully we get to see him in some gold soon, maybe either in the TNT or the International Championship. But also, of course, Okada, because right before that, he has to face off against Takeshita. And I think Takeshita is going to be the one to take the international title from him. That's what's happening for AEW Dynamite happening tonight. Obviously, of course, yours truly will be on the call for Timeless Elite Wednesday. And I don't know, Boza, if I'm going to solve the case on who attacked Tony Storm. There's a lot of theories. There's a lot of thoughts going into this. There's a lot of things. But you're going to have some fun with me because obviously, of course, we're on the road to Double or Nothing in Queens, New York. And since we are talking about AEW, we did not talk about this on Monday. And yes, Jeffrey, hopefully Will Ospreay may show up. I don't know if he's going to show up tonight, but after what happened on Collision, we shall see. Who knows? He may do a surprise pop-in or whatever. Will Ospreay. But Christina, we did not talk about this on Monday, but Tony Khan, Mr. Boss himself. So he made an appearance on MVP. Yes, Mr. Boss Man himself. He appeared on MVP's podcast, Working Out with MVP, and he was discussing the positive and negatives of wrestling media. So he noted that while he noted there can be misinformation occasionally in wrestling media, he believes the positive outweighs the negative. He goes on to say, I think overall there is more help than hurt. I think there can be at times misinformation or even disinformation where people put incorrect things out into the world in wrestling for their own benefit. I find that sometimes there's a lot of truth in these stories and sometimes there's not. When you know things firsthand, it can definitely be interesting. I do not think there is a net benefit and a lot of good that come from it. There's so much wrestling in the world. And for me, this is where I learned a lot about international wrestling. We're talking about Japanese wrestling. I first read about and learned about a lot of what was happening in Japan and Mexico. I'm a big fan of Lucha Libre, and I learned a lot about it from wrestling newsletters. So yeah, I absolutely think there are benefits. You can read about wrestlers, then go out and watch them, and they can be very influential on you. There are definitely positives and negatives, but I think the positives far outweigh the negatives when it comes to wrestling news media. And then this gets very interesting. He goes further in saying that journalistic standards in wrestling media are significantly lower when it comes to sourcing and verification of rumors. However, he says there are benefits that the promotion journalism. The sourcing and verification of rumors has a much higher standard in something like football than it does in wrestling. The kind of sorts you need to report what are essentially locker room rumors is very different. You don't see legitimate football writers reporting those kinds of things. In wrestling, the journalistic standard is generally much lower when it comes to that sort of reporting.
Okay.
Before I say what I have to say, does anybody else want to go first?
Oh, this is loaded. I'll start. Obviously, if reporting is rooted in context, history, and actual reporting, it makes sense. But there's a difference between wrestling journalism, wrestling media versus dirt sheets. Because at the end of the day, those who are reporting generally are fans and have a passion for the sport, for the business, and want to make a positive contribution. Whereas you have others who just want to spread gossip, who just want to rub elbows or attempt to rub elbows, not necessarily caring about the sport or the business, just trying to get their name out there. There's a right and a wrong way. Is one of the things that attracted me to WWT. I'm an unapologetic pro wrestling fan and admirer who happens to be a writer and now a contributor for WWT. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. And, for me, if people look me up on my socials or what have you, they'll see my stories are based on fact. It's not about trying to get, obviously I want people to read it and see it, but it's not about exploitation and putting out incorrect information. And unfortunately, there are too many people in the room. I remember the media scrums that WWE would have, and some of them, and I'm sure you could attest to this, some were better than others, obviously. There were some, in my opinion, who had no business being in the room. It's like, okay, if it were the NFL, if it were another major sport, there's no way they would have gotten credentialed. So it does seem like the criteria may be lessened for whatever reason. I'm not sure who sets the bar for that. But at the end of the day, there are good journalists, and then there are the dirt sheet writers, and then there are great podcasters, and then there are those who are just trying to get their name out there, their content, whether it's right or wrong. Never mind the business. For me, I want, when I'm gone, I want my work to speak for itself. I want people to be able to reference the Wingo sisters. I want people to be able to reference Woman, Nancy Benoit, because these are people who are being forgotten through no fault of their own. That's for me.
Christina?
Yeah, definitely. It's a loaded statements that he made, but I would say one thing that really resonated for me would be having like a vast number of wrestling media outlets to reference helps you kind of explore and find new wrestlers and find new promotions. I know that's one of the fun things that I've liked, especially the international wrestlers. So I definitely resonate with his statement about that. Gosh, it's so hard to say. Just like Hope said, there's just different people hold themselves to different standards, and I definitely think we should highlight those that do have integrity in their writing. But then there, with that and with the openness of everyone being able to kind of have their opinion, is going to come the not so ethical things that come out. So it's a lot. It's a lot. What do you think, Courtney?
Dylan, you might want to clip that. You might want to clip this on social, because there's a lot to be said. And I think, and it's crazy because I had a discussion with this with my PR peers. I'm going to go in and out of wrestling for a bit. There's a lack of media literacy across the board. Now, don't get me wrong what Tony said. There are some people that are doing incredible work. You have the Denises, the Chris Van Vliets, the Adam Bernards, my friends over at BCP Plus, they're doing amazing work. The Ben Veals of the world, they are doing incredible work, highlighting everything about professional wrestling. And it's not one particular promotion. Now, the other ones that want to put gossip, I question your professionalism, because if you say that you're an actual journalist, I expect you to be a professional at all times, not in person, but on socials as well. And some of y'all on socials are very messy as hell. You are very, very messy. And I question, how did you get into the media scrums? Because for me, I'm very happy to be part of a platform like this that supports women's wrestling, because not just for this, I also handle my own outside job working in the PR space. And that's one of the reasons why I want to media train professional wrestlers, because at times it can be hesitant to talk to media, because you'll have some people that are just there for clicks. They don't know what they're talking about, or better yet, they never had the chance to talk to a wrestler or go backstage or even talk to somebody in the independent scene, because I also do commentary on the independent scene, by the way. So it really gave me a different perspective. And I don't like it when people be petty on socials. And also, it's very hard. It's very hard to do it. And I was saying this to Honey. I was like, I need to teach a media literacy course on this, because there are just so many things that are happening. And this is where you need media training, because I don't know who from across the board in your media teams, whether it be AEW, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, everybody across the board, because I want to know who's on your media team, because there are some people I just don't think should be on either media calls or media scrums, because when I see them answer questions, it's like, did you do your homework or just for flap? and it's very hard. For me, I want people to remember the work that I do, and also talking not just to the female wrestlers, but talking to children of Hall of Famers. Like I had the chance to talk to who was the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer, the British Bulldog, and she had incredible stories. Just seeing that part, it makes me happy to learn and really understand it. So there'll be more to that, but I just think some people need to do better. Some people just need to get their act together, not just in person, but also in social as well. And also just learn to be responsible. You think you don't have an important role, but there's a lot of responsibility and accountability to all this. But I'm done.
Definitely.
I'm done. I'm done. I just had to say that right there. And I'm pretty sure Dylan's going to clip it later. But also, another thing that we here at Women's Wrestling Talk love to share is the Women's Wrestling Archive. We celebrate the past, the present, and the future of women's wrestling.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might think he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Support everything you have for the Women's Wrestling Archive. And yes, Boza, that was Kane who actually gave a question to Kyle Fletcher at AEW in London. So you make sure to check out that clip on socials. But going into news, and it's funny because I was brought up from one Hall of Fame child to another. Gunner Udy, Psycho Sid's son, by the way. I had to think about that. Psycho Son's Gunner Udy makes offer to acquire Mid-South Coliseum. He was talking about this on his Facebook page, and he announced that he submitted an offer to acquire the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee, with plans to make it the permanent home for his wrestling promotion, The Wrestling Order. He goes on to say, well, it's official. I just put in an offer on the Mid-South Coliseum with hopes of making it the permanent home for TWO, the Wrestling Order. It's going to need a lot of renovations and work, but it will be 100% worth it. This is a dream I've had for a long time. Memphis wrestling history belongs here. And it goes on to say, beyond serving as the permanent home for the Wrestling Order, the venue is also expected to host the first Psycho Sid Memorial Show, a tribute to his father who passed away in August 2024 and was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame's Legacy Wing as part of the class of 2026 during WrestleMania 42 this weekend. And if you don't know, the Mid-South Coliseum, it has deep roots in professional wrestling history, having served as a key venue for Memphis wrestling during its peak years. Udy's bid to restore it as a wrestling venue will represent a significant effort to bring that heritage back to life.
Focusing.
Wow. Well, this is exciting. It's exciting, especially for Memphis wrestling. I know there's a lot of big names came out of there. So I was excited to hear this story. And I think one question I'm wondering, I'm like, how much did this cost? The whole endeavor. But honestly, it was something that I was happy to hear about.
Absolutely. Mid-South, it makes me smile when I think of the big names that came from there. And I hope he's successful at this. And, you know, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, however you prefer to refer to him, deserves all the credit in the world. So kudos to the family, and praying they'll be able to pull this out.
It's a lot of history. I don't think people realize Memphis is history when it comes to professional wrestling. And I love to see it revamped because obviously, of course, we've heard of Philadelphia. We've heard of Boston, Texas. Those cities have rich history when it comes to wrestling. But it's nice that Memphis is getting a little bit of love. And I'm so happy to see Psycho Sid's son really taking the charge and really continuing the legacy. And also with the fact too, they're planning to do a memorial show in honor of his father. That's huge bonus point. So I give props to him to really leading the charge, and I'm sure he's going to get a lot of support from everywhere in the wrestling biz, on all wrestling promotions. But Christina, I know you have to leave, but where can people find you?
No worries. I'm so sorry, guys. The people can find me here with WWT when the stars align for WWT Live, and mainly for watch-alongs with our boss lady TK. So go ahead out and watch our watch-alongs. We just did the Hogan documentary, but thanks for having me. I'm gonna head out. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Christina. Now, this next story, thank God Honey's not on for this, because this is about Logan Paul, unfortunately. So, oh boy, Stephen A. Smith has a clear vision for where he wants Logan Paul's WWE career to go, and Logan Paul was fully on board with it. Speaking with Logan Paul on the Impulsive podcast, Stephen A. Smith made no secrets of his desire to see Logan Paul elevated to the top of the WWE card as world champion. He goes on to say, I want to see Logan challenge for the heavyweight championship. That's what I want to see. I want to see it right now. He might be a little bit small for the Brock Lesnar's and Obafemis of the world, but I want to see it. I know you open things up. You're the spark plug. You stir the cup. But I want to see you as the main force. I want to see you close the weekend. Logan Paul went into physical promo mode in this response. Hey, that's what I want to see me too. Whether I'm a closer or an opener, I can guarantee that when I'm in the ring, you're going to be watching the most entertaining match of the night. I am a showstopper. I steal the show. It is what I do. It is why I'm here. Yes, Brock is a big boy. Yes, Papa is a big boy. But I'm a big personality. I'm a big wrestler. I'm big everything. It's not just what I can do inside the ring. It's what I can do outside the ring. Even when I'm doing stuff outside the ring, I'm inside the ring. I'm doing a podcast right now with Stephen A. Smith. It's the #1 podcast in the world. I just shot photos of the gang. I was on a show this morning. Guess what? I'm showing later. Do it all. I don't know if these guys that we mentioned say the same thing. I'm looking forward to becoming #1 in WWE one day. Obviously, everyone loves me, and they're very excited to see that happen.
Okay, here's the thing. And I actually do like Logan Paul, the character. I love his energy, his high flying action, the surprising moves, what have you. Because at one point, it did seem like they were seriously considering him for the world title. But we both know size has nothing to do with it. And we're in a different era now. And it's interesting because he does have a huge following via his podcast. And WWE is looking at that. They are big on podcasters with huge followings. There's no denying it. And what makes him stand out, love him or hate him, he's got moves. You know, he's got moves. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him moving forward, especially barring no injuries. But I mean, we could also say something similar with Pat McAfee. You know, I didn't necessarily like, well, the first time he came out to be revealed to be one of the voice of Randy Orton, it threw me, but it made sense, and then it didn't. But he has a following. He has a huge following. That's why they brought him on. So it just depends on how things go in leadership. And I do mean leadership because, I mean, Rey Mysterio, he was champion. I mean, we could go through a laundry list of champions who didn't look like Brock or Oba, who I can definitely see as a future
Darby
champion.
Allin,
Darby, absolutely. Yeah.
CM Punk,
Yep.
Chris Jericho.
No,
Need I go on?
a laundry list. It's literally a laundry list. So I would not be surprised at all if Logan Paul becomes champion. I mean, can you imagine the heat? Literally the heat. Fatal Attraction came and had Drew like Dom. That's
Yeah, JC.
immediately what I thought of. If he won the belt, it would be something very similar. If not, if you remember when Hogan turned and became NWO, I still remember the ring filling up with trash. The one time I was glad I wasn't sitting front row, because anyone who was sitting front row got hit or drenched or some. Those fans were mad.
They were. They were. I mean, listen, Logan Paul, he could be an asshole for all I care. But you know what? He draws in ratings and space, even though he has the Brosphere podcast, which that's a whole conversation I'm not going to get into. But he does draw in some type of ratings and audience and getting people into WWE, whether you like him or not. You said, I can imagine him drawing so much heat if he won either the Intercontinental or the World's Heavyweight title. That would be something that would be interesting. And also, this would be very interesting because I know people can't stand it. What if you had Stephen A. Smith be the manager of Logan Paul and you have two loud mouths in there, two of the biggest egos, and you don't even know what to do?
You know, because I like the bad guys, I would love it. But you know, things like that could happen because that's a moneymaker. That's a draw. That's part of what brings us in. Because again, it's about storylines, it's about creativity, it's about drawing heat. I mean, even if he couldn't wrestle worth squat, if he can draw heat, if he can bring people in, meaning merch sales and everything else, oh yeah, it can happen. Absolutely.
It would not shock me at all. It would not shock me at all. But I did like the song Joe Hendry did of Logan Paul. That was just pretty funny. And I still have that clip on social. Anytime I have a bad day, I would watch that clip.
I love it.
But before we get out of here, because we do have one more story revolving the ladies, and it's an injury update. Stephanie Vaquer, unfortunately, we found out that she did sustain a very serious injury. Unfortunately, she got attacked by Liv Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez because she is a threat to Liv Morgan's Women's World Championship match. But we did receive a few reports out there, courtesy of Brian Alvarez, reported that Vaquer's shoulder injury is legit, and it's likely the sprain referenced on air by Michael Cole following the backstage attack. Obviously, of course, we did see Raquel and Roxanne later on tonight where they did defeat Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. But Michael Cole later announced on commentary during Raw that Stephanie Vaquer suffered a second-degree AC sprain as a result of the attack and would be out for a bit. But here at Women's Wrestling Talk, we do want to wish La Primera a speedy recovery and know she will be getting the belt back very soon.
Oh yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back and she'll get it back again as many times as her little heart desires. Absolutely. Wishing her the best. Injury sucks. That's also part of what's crippling them right now. Is the injury list is just insane. It's like you get one batch coming in and then you got another crew going out. It's like, wow. But please, I do hope she gets well soon.
I think she will get well, but it would be funny if her and Naomi came back around the same time. That would be very interesting because we didn't see them go one-on-one. They just had to stare down with each other. They didn't face off with one another, but hopefully she comes back around the same time Naomi returns, and we could get some revamping and storytelling from those two ladies.
Absolutely. Great way to welcome them back and great for the fans. Again, a fantastic creative story.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we here at Women's Wrestling Talk wish Stephanie Vacure a speedy recovery, and we want to see La Primera back on TV soon.
Yes, we do.
But that wraps up Wednesday's large edition of Women's Wrestling Talk, and we're getting ready for AEW Dynamite coming at the top of the hour soon. But Hope, where can the people find you?
Miss Hope 0621 Honey's Baby on all the social media platforms.
And the people can find me top of the hour because we get ready for Timeless Elite Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. We do have a stacked card because we are on the road to AEW Double or Nothing in Queens, New York. So get ready for 2 hours of action. That card is fire. I don't care what anybody said. You're going to get a lot of thrills, a lot of chills, a lot of action and suspense, everything in 2 hours. Also, you can always find me chirping sporadically on WWT Live as much as I can. Also, follow me on my socials at CourtneyNJ11 on Twitter and Instagram because I got a lot of content happening. So BRB on that soon. Make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling because yours truly will be back on commentary this Friday because we have the Golden Ticket Rumble where all the stars of ISPW will be in an over-the-top rope match. Who's going to be the winner of the Golden Ticket briefcase? Well, you're just going to have to find out on Friday in Totowa, New Jersey. So feel free to do that. Also, with the fact to shout out to everybody from our team at WWT Live because they've been doing amazing work. A lot of them are on the ground for WrestleMania, and we're just shifting gears for everything for 2026. But shout out to everybody in the chat that's been supporting us. Our producer from the future, Dylan, Jeffrey, Lynette, Boza, Eric Isaac, Lewis Johnson, all of you for supporting us week in and week out. And we just want to say thank you for everything that you do. Please make sure to support the Women's Wrestling Archive. It's supporting everywhere from all things women's wrestling from the past, present, and future. And thank you again for supporting Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a great evening, and we'll see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.